Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Kara, and today I'm going to be showing you my TBR for round 5 of Tome Topple. So Tome Topple is a readathon created by Sam from Thoughts on Tomes, and it's all about reading big books, or books over 500 pages. I kind of decided spur of the moment that I wanted to join in, so I thought I would just share with you guys what I am planning to read. And I will definitely link Sam's announcement video down below so that you can get more information about the challenges and the other hosts and what's going on with the readathon. Now there are 5 challenges for the readathon, but they are completely optional. Number 1 is to read more than 1 tome. Number 2 is to read a graphic novel, and this is the only challenge where bind-ups are acceptable. Number 3 is to read a tome that is part of a series. Number 4 is to buddy read a tome, and number 5 is to read an adult novel. Now, of the 3 books that I'm planning to focus on, they probably would count for a few of the challenges, but I'm not really worried about it. I'm just planning on using this time to really get into some of the big books that I've been planning to read for a while now. So the first one that I'm going to be reading, and the one that I plan to focus on for the majority of the readathon, is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. And this one definitely counts for the readathon. Now this is a fantasy novel that is, I believe, set in Regency England. It might be Victorian England, I'm not sure. But I've been meaning to read it for a really long time, and I've heard it's really well written and that the magic system is really fascinating. And also that Susanna Clarke does an excellent job of imitating that sort of dry Jane Austen wit. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Plus I am really excited to get to the BBC show after I finish this, so that's another motivator. Now, if I do manage to finish that in the 2 weeks, or if I just feel like I want to take a break from that book, I have a couple other options that I can kind of bounce around between. And the first of those is Night Film by Marisha Pessl. Now this is a pretty popular thriller/mystery novel. There's a director of horror films who has a kind of cult following, and there's all these mysteries surrounding him, and he's a very private person. And at the beginning of the novel, his daughter commits suicide, and we follow a reporter who thinks that there's something else going on. And I've heard that this is a really suspenseful, great thriller, and it's also told in a really interesting format. Like, we have photos and I think like case files and different media that are sort of mixed into it. So I'm thinking that with that aspect and the fact that it's a thriller, that this will be a pretty quick tome to get through. And it's deceptively long. It doesn't look like it's 500 pages, but I think it's almost 600. And finally, the last book on my TBR is Floras Dare by Isabeau S. Wills. This is the second book in a trilogy, and it's a really difficult one to explain. In the first book, we follow our main character, Flora Segunda, and sort of her adventures. She wanders through her magical, slightly sinister house, and some of the creatures she meets on the way, and there's a lot of quests to rescue people, and it's just really interesting. And one of the things that I really loved about the first book was the really interesting world building. It's set in sort of a magical/historical jumble, I guess, where there's Aztec influences, but a lot of it is also reminiscent of the time period when the Spanish owned California, and there's just some really interesting things that were done with that, so I'm really looking forward to getting to the second book. And I highly recommend the first one, even though I'm not very good at describing it. Okay, so those are the 3 books that I am planning to read for Tome Topple this round. You guys should let me know down below if you are planning on joining in for Tome Topple, even if it's really informal, kind of like how I'm doing it. There's still enough time to join in. I would be especially interested to know if any of you guys are planning on reading Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, because I would love to have somebody to talk about the book with once I start. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you soon in another video, and I hope you love the next book you read. Bye!